Yo, what's going on, La Familia? This your boy LA reporting live from the GOAT Lab. Um, I try to update y'all as much as I can, man. I'm an artist, engineer, full-time father, amongst many other titles. But I see there's a lot of conversation about monitors, um, headphones and stuff online lately, and a lot of opinions. And I know y'all trust my insight. Because as you guys know, I done tried some of everything, monitor-wise, headphones-wise. So I just wanted to talk about two of the top speakers that's like amongst the conversations. And that's the Amphions I have here and the ATCs. Arguably two of the top speakers in the industry. That's talked about anyways, and used. And I wanted to give the Amphions a try for myself because I read a lot of reviews. A lot of people was, talking about how fast they are. Some people prefer them over ATC. Some people prefer them over a lot of speakers, genelec, Neumann, you name it. So pretty much I got them in my room. And when I first heard them, it wasn't in my room. They were just like, I picked them up and it wasn't like a treated space. I just played them. I was like, okay, cool, grabbed them. Once I got them in my room, they were actually on my desk, but I didn't have the ISO stands. And it took some time to get used to, I'm not lying, because it was different. ATC presents stuff like a projector image, and I feel like the Amphion present music like a laser image. It's kind of like faster and sharper, whereas ATC give you like the overall big picture, big mid-range, big sweet spot. Your whole room is the sweet spot with the ATCs. With the Amphion, they have a wider sweet spot than the Neumann and other speakers I tried. And I got the 112. These are the 112s right here, man. The smallest speaker they make is like 4.5 inches. You add the sub to it, bro, and I honestly feel like, I would be fine if I just had these in the sub for a home studio. ATCs, if you're in a home studio similar to me, like my room is not huge. It's not huge. It's treated though. It's well treated, but my room is not very huge. And the ATCs good. They pack some sound, and they gonna fill the room up. The Amphions don't fill the room up as much because I have the smaller ones, but for a 4-inch driver, they have a wider sound than the Neumann 120s that I've owned previously. And it was between me going back to like a Neumann KH80 or Neumann 120. And I was like, I wanted something that was different from ATC. I feel like Neumann is kind of wanting to go in that ATC mid-range type deal, and it would have been too similar to add another pair of Neumann. So I was like, I'm going to give the Amphions a shot, which I'm happy I did. They actually complement each other pretty good. The Amphions are slightly more open. They actually have a real similar neutral sound. The Amphions are faster, whereas the ATCs are just an overall big picture of what's going on, like the mid-range, not as open in the top end or the high mid as the Amphions, but it's like an overall picture. And I said that to say, if I was on a budget, I got a small room, I didn't want to bother with amps because the Amphions are passive, so you'll need an amp to power them. So if I didn't want to bother with that, I would lean more towards the Neumann KH80s, only because they're 1300, which is not budget friendly. But when it comes to talking about ATC or Amphion, these are out of budget once you add the price into the factor. So for $1,300 is what they're charging for the new KH80s. they're gonna be great. They're neutral. They got kick to them. They're balanced. Even the 120s on the used market, still a great deal. However, if you wanted to just, just go to another realm and you add these 112s and a sub, you're honestly competing on a level of like ATC monitors. It kind of separates themselves once you add a decent amp to the Amphions. I'm not using the Amphion amp. I'm using a high-end HypeX amp though. It's about 500 watts. They recommend about 200 or 300, 400 watts amp to power these. Somewhere up in there, but I got more power than I need just so I can have extra headroom. But yeah, and I honestly used to have, when I had the 120s, I would have them further out where I got the ATCs at right now in order for them to give me that big wide sound. My Amphions are literally close on my desk. They're not super close, but they're closer than where I had the Neumanns, and they still have a real wide immersive sound, which is crazy. And then, yeah. So my vote would be, without the guesswork, Cali Audios are cool. Yamaha stuff is cool. I'm not knocking nobody that's, starting off and that want to get a good monitor. But if you're really serious about mixing and you want to get something neutral, bro, just save up and get a pair of KH80s, Neumann 120s, some genelec, even the old 1031s, 1030s. The 80 series are cool. I haven't had much experience with those, but go with the trusted brands. Like, the new stuff is cool, bro, but the trusted stuff is trusted for a reason. There's no gimmick. Like, there's some gimmicks with certain stuff, but the stuff that I've tried, they're the big names for a reason. Okay. Headphone wise, I found these to be some of the best headphones on the market. These are literally similar to what I'm hearing from my Amphions. People rave these headphones, and I have them, Neumann and the H20. Everybody rave over those. I prefer my Sennheisers. Yes, the NDH20s may have a little something going on with the sound stage, but as far as them being neutral, they sound nothing like these monitors up here when I take them off my head. These, I could dial in at least 70 to 80% of a mix on these and not be far off when it comes to just touching up stuff. So, if you don't have a budget and you want some good speakers and you can't afford Amphions, ATCs, or high-end stuff, get a pair of these, bro. Sennheiser HD600s. Don't feed into the reviews when people telling you, oh, they're old and Neumann are blowing them away, or these are blowing them away, bro. Trust me. These sound like they're worth whatever the highest pair of these cost. No kidding. I know you guys can't really, you probably won't be able to tell the sound quality difference from the phone, but as always, I'm going to give y'all an idea of what I'm hearing. I do got the 112, the Amphion's on the sub. The ATC is not on the sub. I chose to do that because I kind of been mixing more on my Amphion's now, and I need that little information. They play decent bass without the sub, but the sub honestly take them to a whole nother realm. So let me go ahead and play. I'm gonna play one of my songs so the video don't get flagged or nothing like that. So we're gonna go with the Amphions first.
This shit crazy, mate. I met a girl one day, little baby said she wanna hit the road. She with all her friends and they all on go. They been through some things that y'all don't know. She looking at my pockets and they all on swole. 4 pockets full and I'm with a little baby. Let her drive the boat, now she finna go crazy. I wanna have fun.
Those are the Amphions with the sub.
Get away from all the problems that she facing.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead into the we're going ATC.
On the outside, she's a model. In Miami, she's in the water.
All right, we're in the ATCs right now.
Shit crazy, man. I met a girl one bad little baby said she wanna hit the road. She with all her friends and they all on go. They been through some things that y'all don't know. She looking at my pockets and they all on swole. Whole pockets full and I'm with a little baby. Let her drive the boat, now she finna go crazy. I wanna have fun and she saying nigga pay me. She wanna get away from all the problems that she facing. But I got what you want, let's go.
All right, so that's pretty much everything. If you like this video, man, like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want me to discuss in the next video. Maybe I might go over mics again, but I'm just trying to lay the monitor thing a bit because there's a lot of discussion about that. They steady coming out with new monitors. Find you a pair that you like, that's good for your room, and rock out. Get back to creating music. Don't get caught up in having the latest stuff. I have like an early model of the ATCs. These are legendary. They don't even make this style anymore. And I love speakers though. I'm an engineer, recording engineer, songwriter. I create music, but outside of that, I like enjoying music till its full capacity when it comes to quality. So I switch up speakers a lot, so I end up trying a lot of stuff. So once again, subscribe, like, comment. Any questions you got, I'll try my best to answer them. I want to get a little more active on making videos. I'm on my phone right now. I prefer to do it that way because it's less editing. I don't have a lot of time to really set cameras up and do all of this, do chopping, and so I'm just recording, uploading. La Familia gang, I'm out.